This video is about the flow state, and when you get into the flow state, it's almost impossible for you to not just slay when you're playing a game. And I wanted to show that. Now, in this round, as you can see here, I've had to actually configure the computer to watch me play because that's more necessary. Now, one of the features that causes it not to have sound is the fact that it was playing from my 432 music player. It was playing songs. But I was also listening to the moon frequency, which I'm playing again on this one. But each time I've gone to the moon frequency binaural beat, which is 210.42 hertz. Okay, that's the frequency I'm referring to as the moon frequency. In case you're an asshole and you want to know what actually frequency am I talking about, is the moon. It's 210.42. Okay? Alright. So I had my music playing, and I'm playing here. But you see, I'm playing against 100 other people. Well, 99. There's 99 other players in this round. Typically, you're on a team. So they say 1 out of 26 if your team wins in the end. But my team was me. I didn't have a team. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I didn't have a fucking team. So I've thought many times when this happens, I'm like, well, surely if what my dad said is true, and you know they're testing us with these games, that's the reason. They know I'm going into the flow state, and I'm just going to murder all these other people. And that's of course what I'm going to do. Now, I don't know that's the possibility, but I feel very strong about it. As you can see, I was going in there, and it's quite fascinating how good you can actually be playing when in the flow state. I was running circles around those motherfuckers, and I'm just saying. Now, I listened to it and I noticed I didn't have any sound, and that was okay because I wanted to really narrate it, and the sounds that are playing, those music songs, would just get me a copyright strike anyway. So I didn't want to do that, but I wanted to finish the fucking story to tell you why some of this I think is necessary and strange. So, have a seat, pull up a chair. Let's discuss. I had to call my stepdad today because on one of these clues, I didn't want to be AWOL. I didn't want to be completely out of my element. But it's referring to a house that we lived in that's no longer our home because he sold it. He sold it. He could have just split it with me and let his son have that other house. But no, he wanted his money like I wanted mine. But now I'm waiting. And I laugh about it because I tell him how difficult it is dealing with my brother. But I did that. I said also that I think I'm the cause. He had some phenomenon happen. See, at the house, after the typewriter incident occurred, I went and showed my mom what the typewriter had typed. She told me that I did that myself. And that freaked me out because I was very scared. But what really freaked me out also was the fact that later on it happened to them. he would be sitting in his little chair in the living room, and he would see my mom come out of the room, their bedroom, which was on his right, and he would see somebody go into the kitchen, and he would be sure that that was my mom, and he would get up and he would go and look, and there would be nobody in the kitchen, and then also my mom would not be home. So it fucked with him a few times. I don't know how he didn't know she wasn't there to begin with, but I'm just telling you the story he told me. My mom was a nurse at the time, and she had to work at night, so when she would get home, she would sit in the living room also, and she would be doing her nurse's notes. This is what she told me. And she would see somebody out her peripheral vision coming up to her and being like, psst, psst. And when she would finally look up, there was nobody there too. And usually my stepdad was not home. So he wasn't in the bedroom asleep. He was, or maybe he was. Look, I don't know. I don't remember her story, and I can't verify it with her. She's no longer with us. But I told him, I said, I think I'm the cause of that. I said, I think it's because when they tasered me on the floor, the police, I said, I think I released an excessive amount of chi, which stained the environment. And I'm counting on this fact to be the case. From there, I would probably fuck with them from the living room, and that's fine. I would also produce the phenomenon of the kid that looks like he's hanging behind the picture. I would do all that stuff. I would do it to fuck with them for not taking me seriously, because at the time I didn't know. I was being phenomenon haunted. But I told him the rest of the story about going out to this place, why the guy Sid was the clue, and then why it was and Bobby killed me had nothing to do with anybody being killed. And he liked my story. And he told me about his friend passing on last Monday, a guy that also came here to the wake I had for my dad. And it was sad because they were friends, but it was a really good friend of his that he was friends with since he was 13 years old. This guy, Mike, I don't know what his last name was. It may be Gonzalez or Mike Salas or something like that. But they were friends, and he was really sick, and he knew that he was not going to be living much longer, but he was going to go and see him probably. The next time would be next month. But he didn't make it. So he's having all these thoughts about life and stuff like that. I don't know what my stepdad's spirituality is. He told me one time when I was asking him about Jesus, when I thought it was important, he told me that he got saved at camp in the 70s. So I was like, oh, of course. That makes perfect sense. So he opted out of any of the dealings. But I let him know that my friend, the other wizard, Mrs. Candace, is good friends with a lot of the other family that we have, because there's a cousin he has, Sherry, and Sherry's got two sons. One of them I went to high school with, another one that's older than me, that got married to this girl that's born on December 10th. And I was just letting him know all the other weird facts and shit about life that he might not be aware that I was aware of, and why. And then I got off the phone, but it was very difficult to get off the phone because it's a very exciting conversation. You have to understand, telling him about the clues I got from my mom, and the fact that I've got her mom, that having her birthday on the headstone was kind of neat. That I couldn't figure out the math if the guy born in 23 that died in 40 was 17 or 27. That I couldn't do that math problem due to my inability to give a fuck about math. Oh, you see, I win. So I slayed it. I fucked them up. Now that's against 99 people trying to kill me. Some of them in teams. That's why this is